Welcome to the Freelance Drive. Here we talk with skilled freelancers about their professional journey. So stay tuned for real life experiences to learn and actionable steps to take to improve your freelancing career. My name is Yuri. I'm a community builder at Coach Control and NanyM.works. And my guest is Dan Kuida, an award-winning software architect and lead developer and technical leadership expert who pivoted his career after 8 years of the military. So welcome, Dan.
Hi, thanks for having me. How are
I'm
you doing?
super happy. I'm all great, and I'm super happy to talk to you. I'm really curious, what happened when you changed your career. So tell me first, what skills did you acquire during 8 years of the military?
Right. So it was 8 years of military and then 4 years of reserve service that we have to do. And I'm lucky to do that. I'm actually begging to stay for some more, but I moved to Spain. So that's how it is. I would say the primary skill is leading by example. Okay. Trying to ask your team to do something that is while you slacking, or someone who is not clear on his requirements and asking the team to be clear in their explanation, that just doesn't work. You have to be an example. It doesn't mean you have to be the best at everything that the team is doing. Someone who is a sharpshooter, the commander might be not the best sharpshooter or not the best sniper or not the best breacher, but he can definitely, by his attitude, should be an example. The other thing is striving for excellence. That's something that is in the officer school. We've been just drilled into our mind. It's kind of some consciousness. You always want to improve in everything that you do. To me personally, that was the key point when I transitioned to the civilian life. They just getting better every day, relentless pursuit. So those would be pivotal points.
Mm-hmm.
The rest is, of course, caring for your team. To me, my soldiers were like my children. Okay, I was their father, their mother, their everything. That's how it is, especially when it's young kids and you just another kid who is 4 years older. That's how it is. But it's a good preparedness for life.
Totally. And where is this boundary between leading by example and doing everything yourself? How to make sure that you teaching others, that you are really leading them instead of doing everything for them?
That's an excellent question. Finding that boundary, it was hard for me personally. I struggled with that. I have to share, to open up, that at some point even in the military, I was so much trying to do everything myself that I came to the point that I considered suicide. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
I was at that point, and then someone snapped. I was 4 years, something like that, young officer, just my first, my second position. And then I realized that, hey, you cannot not sleep. If you don't sleep, you're not clear, okay? And you build that balance where you train your team. You understand that investment in your team, in improvement, teaching, mentoring, that's your responsibility, and not doing that or another thing yourself. So the moment that balance just, from the load, I just had to do it. There is no way that you do a work of 8 people that's impossible, or 10 people or 16 or 20. So the only way to, how we call it in the software world, scale out, that's by mentoring, by teaching. And here you have to improve. Until this day, and I'm leading multiple teams in the civilian world, in software world. At the same time, The books that I have on my Kindle is about mentoring,
Mm.
about soft skills, about there is nothing soft in soft skills, okay? There is nothing
Exactly.
soft about it. But that's really the balance where it is. It's from experience. It's from learning. It's from listening to others. At some point, reading the Dichotomy of Leadership by Jocko Willink
Mm.
definitely put that in place, but it came way down the road.
So by practice, and also you told that you are always striving for an excellence. That's what you learned. And from your perspective, is it possible to be perfect?
Never. The moment you think that's well, you know the answer. You know that answer. The
Everyone knows
moment,
answers, but the answer is different for everyone. So I wonder, like, your perspective.
yeah, well, when someone thinks that he reached the end of the road, there is no road anymore. You're done. Okay, he's done. It's there is always relentless pursuit. You always move forward. You always improve. Now, if you become the best in the world in something, imagine, okay, you are Gordon Ryan in jiu-jitsu. Do you think Gordon Ryan is not training, not improving? Of course he is. That's why he's number one. That's why he's number one. So there is never an end for that task. The only end day is in the grave. That's it.
And as a mentor, how do you feel when somebody is getting better than you?
Oh, I love that. I love that. Hey, when I think the real good balance here is parenting,
Mm.
because that's true, selfless, just giving, 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 giving. Any sane parent want his kids to be better than he is. So I do have that sometimes when someone did not have kids because he's too young or he decided not to have kids. I have a little bit of reluctance of, hey, you don't know what is selfless giving away is, because that's exactly that. And once you do, you realize, okay, I want my kids to be better than I am. You can relate to others to be better than you are.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not getting younger. If someone is hungry and he's just want to get the world and but he's not arrogant about it. Because look, if someone is arrogant about it, he probably will not be able to really get better than us. Sometimes he is, okay, more the power to him. Like, I can give him what I can give. He wants to move on and to, for example, in the software world, we know it well. You have a new team member. He's learning, learning, learning. He put the effort. He's getting so good. And he just moves to another company. That's part of the culture, okay? Well, first, it means that the company failed to maintain the talent, which is a point for the company to think about, okay? Why did that happen? Sometimes it's only money, but many times it's not.
Yeah.
But hey, yeah, you want your team members to be better than you are. Because as a leader, you're not measured in your professional qualifications, you're measured in your talent,
Yeah.
right? So
It's a really good point, and it's nice. It's fun, but I've yesterday just read a post of a friend of mine who was like, "I'm in this company. I'm happy to be with this company, and if recruiters reaching out to me, I'm always saying like, no, thank you. I'm happy here." So it's definitely not like, and it's not. I believe that it's definitely good money and all the stuff, but it's all about also connection within the company and how the company helps you to grow up, you know?
a very good company as an example is Basecamp. David Heinemeier Hansson is the CTO there, and he wrote multiple books about remote work and about how to run a team. And he is a role model to me in that sense. and they have some really good retention of their talent. They did have once a blow up around political issues. It did happen. It was a one time, but it did, to me personally, it did signify about the team members that decided to leave because of the political thing. Because the thing was they did not allow to speak about politics on the company Slack, which is okay, opinions here and there, but it's work in general. It's like nobody would want to talk about sexual things at work, right? So, but it was a decision. But in general, they have really good retention, and even when someone is offering more money, people do not leave from Basecamp.
Yeah. You were talking about your transition from the military to the civilian world, and you also mentioned Jocko Willing. So what role did Jocko Willing play in this transition?
If I would put it in few words, it's really giving the courage to actually take that experience to the civilian life. Because I first read the Extreme Ownership book back in 2017, which when I was already 6 years out of the military. But I was reluctant to bring those lessons really. So look, some of the lessons which I could apply to me personally, of course I did, like striving for excellence. I started developing software when I was 12. I've sold my first CRM when I was 15. But then I went to almost 8 years totally out, and then some reserve. I was quite busy. So definitely moved to a totally different sphere. So applying the personal lessons of, relentless pursuit, just doing the things that I need to do. At the same time, I worked in a company. I had 2 infants, and I started a company that I just have start to spin out, to be able to be autonomous. And on top of that, I was finishing my degree. Yeah. So still, pushing it through, going through. I had my degree, I had everything. That's what allowed me to move to Spain. Without that, that would never happen. On the other hand, the team lessons at first, when I tried to apply them in the civilian world, especially in a different mentality, when I moved to Spain, the European mentality is a little bit more mellow, let's put it this way, or at least more verbose. And on top of that, it was harder. I had some conflicts. And eventually, key lessons like humility, check your ego, that is definitely put me into that good spot of, hey, I can apply those lessons. It just adjust it, tone it down maybe, pivot around it. It's funny how Jocko at the cover and move, which is a pure tactical movement, it's like the basics that you learn in your first month probably. But applying that into way of thinking of team, of civilian life, of, hey, even between 2 people, hey, you do that, and meanwhile, I will progress here. That communication skills, that's brilliant how he applied that. Of course, discipline. Hey, I mean, it's pretty clear. But if a person is not disciplined with himself, it's hard really, subconsciously, it's hard to ask it from others, children included, right?
As Jocko Willing say, forget about Monday motivation, instead impose some daily discipline in your life. And you have this discipline on your t-shirt. So how do you discipline yourself?
Well, thanks for bringing this up. I actually just yesterday posted a post of some short writing about that. It starts with physical, okay? Someone who is especially hyperactive, where sitting down for 9 hours, 10 hours, or sometimes it starts with physical, okay? The
Yeah.
biological side, one of the mentors told me, in my software architecture mentor, told me, hey, you don't have any barrier at this level, right? So this it's the same blood flowing through your brain. So not having that physical activity in your life at the first 10 minutes of your day. So I wake up 4:34, for until 4:45 I already had a cold shower, and then just doing some physical activity, okay? Not too long, but 20 minutes is more than enough just to rush your blood flow, starting your day, planning your day, and then just following that. So it is a trade-off, okay? I wasn't that, at some point, I was so strict that, hey, I did not follow that thing. Oh, it's so bad. I have to go, like I heard the voice of David Goggins in my head. Hey, stay strong. Uh, but that flexibility has to be, so there is a middle ground here. Of course, not slacking. Okay, there is no way around that. But having those boundaries, having that schedule written down, if there are changes, you still follow the schedule, you adjust, but keep following. It's not like throwing that plan, all right? That's how it is, I guess.
Then I have so many questions to you, and I really wish to have the sky as the limit, but time is the limit. So the final question, what is your favorite food?
Steak.
The hardest and the easiest one.
Yeah, just some good entrecote, that's it.
Got it. And thank you so much for sharing your experience, Dan. And it's been such a pleasure to hear and learn from you.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, hit the like button or 5 stars and share it with your friends. That's it. We're done. See you in the next episode.